Hi, welcome to the Girly Girl Bookworm.
Sure. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So, as I mentioned in one of my last videos, I was going to make a Disney book haul, and this is my boyfriend, Patrick, and he wanted to be in it, so here we are. So we were in Disney for the past week, and if you watch me, you know that they have the best Books a Million ever in Florida, so we had to go there. And I obviously picked up some books for myself, and he picked up some books too. So why don't you start?
Okay, so I
Just do one book.
One book.
One book, and we'll go back and forth.
Okay. Well, I'm a high school history teacher, and my school recently, as of like the second part of this year, started an independent reading initiative. So, it's nice to have a nice big classroom library for my students to pick from. So I picked up a couple books while we were down there, and the Books a Million, and it was cheap and good and all that stuff. So the first book I picked up is The Homesman, and it's about these pioneers in Nebraska during the 1800s, and they have to escort a bunch of women back to the East Coast, and no men step up to do it. So this other woman has to step up and kind of like lead them back to where they're supposed to be. So that is this book. It's historically based, so I thought it'd be good for a history classroom. So there's that.
Okay, so the first book that I got was Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. And this book was kind of popular a while back, I think, because I remember seeing it in, what's that store called? Oh, Urban Outfitters. You know, they sell books there. Mm-hmm. This was there. I don't know. It sounded really interesting. It sounds kind of like Gone Girl-esque. Like, it's this woman, she's planning a trip for her daughter, or like her family. A family is going to Antarctica or something like that, and then the mom disappears. So they have to find her, clearly. It sounds really interesting. I think I'm picking this one up next to read. Go ahead.
Can I do two at a time?
No.
Why not?
I'm just kidding. Author. Go ahead.
Right. So I got two more books by S.E. Hinton, who is the author of The Outsiders, which is classic young adult fiction. So
what are they called?
One is called Rumblefish, and the other one is called Taming the Star Runner. And they both kind of follow the same theme of like tough guy, cool guy that has to like figure stuff out on their own. This one, Taming the Star Runner, is about he goes to like a writing camp, I guess, and there's a girl there who's the only one that can tame this one star runner, and it's kind of like a parallel between him and the horse at the same time. So that's kind of cool. And this one, Rumblefish, it's about this guy who thinks he's all rough and rumbly. So, but he also has an older brother who like gets him out of all these jams and stuff when he gets into tough spots. And in this one, I guess all of a sudden his brother isn't around anymore for some mysterious reason, according to the synopsis. So both kind of situations where you have tough guys where all of a sudden they're in a different situation. I got a lot of kids that think they're tough guys, so it might be a good read for them. So.
Okay, the next book I have is A Beautiful Wedding by Jamie McGuire. I've already read this, but I will save my thoughts for my wrap-up. This is just a novella that comes after Beautiful Disaster or Walking Disaster. I've only read Beautiful Disaster, and I just wanted the wedding, so I did it. Since it's a novella and I don't usually do that, I was waiting to find it really cheap, and it was on bargain for $5, so I did it. Your turn.
Right. Next one I have is called Foul Trouble by John Feinstein, and this one is about a high school basketball recruit. He's one of like the best in the country, and his best friend and teammate, and how they kind of like navigate those waters of being recruited, but also being like super popular. And I guess according to the synopsis, they run into some trouble with some agents and stuff. And if you are going to be a NCAA basketball player, you're supposed to still be an amateur. And if you have messing around with agents and things, that's how you lose your amateur status. And then if you don't play college basketball, you can't play NBA basketball down the road. So apparently some trouble comes up with that and how they kind of get through that as teammates and friends and that whole thing. So, very interesting book, it seems. That's going in the classroom library as well.
All right, and the next book that I got was The Kingmaker's Daughter by Philippa Gregory. I've read the Red Queen and the White Queen from this series, and I own the White Princess and the Lady of the River. So I'm just gradually finishing up collecting this series. They did have The King's Curse, which is the last book, but it was hardcover, so I decided to wait. But I'm excited to get to this, and it matches my other copy, so that was really fun. Oh, the girl book.
Oh, yes, the girl book. So this one is Broken Hearts, Fences, and Other Things to Mend by Katie Finn. And it's about a girl who's like her summer vacation is about to start and she's super excited, but then kind of things don't go the way she plans. I guess she gets dumped right before summer break starts and she has to go to family vacation now or something like that. So she...
Yeah, well, if you didn't know, Katie Finn is actually, oh my goodness, now I'm blanking on her name. Oh my goodness, I was saying it right before we started filming. Yeah. She wrote Since You've Been Gone. Morgan Matson. She wrote Since You've Been Gone and Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, but this is her other pen name. So I didn't realize this when I first bought it because I didn't recognize this cover. I was expecting that other like really pretty hardcover, so I didn't expect it in this one, but that's exciting, which is funny because it says on the top, this is the kind of book I wish I could write by from Morgan Matson, author of Since You've Been Gone, but Katie Finn is Morgan Matson, so I'm kind of confused. I think Katie Finn actually is like two people. Yeah. Yep, because it says in the author thing, to this day, she and Morgan Matson have never been seen in the same room together. Mm-hmm. So it is Morgan Matson, so that was exciting. Sorry, I just took over your book.
Oh, no.
The last two books that I bought at Books A Million go together, so I'm going to do them together too. And I got Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare and Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. I've been holding off buying these books because I wanted to get the matching pretty hardcovers to match my City of Bones collection. But for a bargain price of $5.97, I kind of had to. And then I realized they're UK editions, so I have to buy book 2 from Book Depository. But that's okay. So I'm really excited to get to this series. I'm hoping to hopefully finish this by the end of the summer. We'll see, because they're big chunkers and I want to get other books read. But we'll see.
And then my last book is called Fantasy Life by Matthew Berry. For those of you who do not know, Matthew Berry is a very famous fantasy sports guru, and he kind of became famous by doing his own fantasy leagues and got really, really good at it to the point when ESPN was like, "Hey, come be an analyst for us." So that's what he does, and this is kind of like his trials and tribulations through fantasy sports. And this one's actually for me. It's not for my classroom library. But the really cool thing about our initiative, the Independent Reading Initiative, is as students are reading, teachers are also supposed to be reading. So that way, we can model that, and the kids can see, hey, look, my teachers are reading, and they're involved in it. So I should do that too, and that's cool because my teachers are cool, obviously.
Because you think you're cool.
I am cool. So it gives me as a teacher opportunity to read, which I don't really get otherwise, which is difficult when you're dating her and she reads all the time. So and I feel bad that I don't read, but I had the opportunity to read during school, and I read Gone Girl this year during that, which is, if you don't know, her favorite book of all time, and it's now definitely up there for me too. So if she hasn't convinced you to read it yet, do it. But this will be a good one for me because I really like fantasy sports too. Reading's her thing, fantasy sports is my thing, especially football, and that season's coming up. So this will be a good read, both interesting and maybe get a couple tips.
No more football.
So, yes, more football.
Okay. The last book I have to share with you is from Book Outlet. If you were one of the lucky people to get a Book Outlet coupon in your email, you saw that it was a $5 off with no minimum purchase. So, of course, I had to pick out, basically get a free book. All you had to pay for was shipping. So I got it for $3.99. And I got the Lucky Santangelo cookbook by Jackie Collins. You know I love Jackie Collins. And this series, this cookbook is like recipes from that main character in that series. It's kind of like the foods that she would like to eat. And I've been wanting this forever. It's usually $28 in stores, and even like used, I haven't really found it cheap or even available. So I was able to get a brand new copy for $3.99. So that was really exciting.
I
So
also bought it during your. I'm not supposed to buy books, but it doesn't count because it's a cookbook.
it is the cookbook. Well, we could use it when we move in together next month. So that's exciting, and I'm glad to have this in my collection. So thank you for watching us be really awkward. And if you have any comments about any of these books, let us know down below, and I will see you soon. I don't know if he'll see you soon.